now. Under
there you go. You're recording.
Yeah,
so
look for the right button.
Yeah, on our screens it says recording, and then on your screen it should say stop record, or like, you know, recording in progress or stop recording or whatever. So
okay.
You'll be, yep.
Yeah.
Look at you guys. Thank you for supporting me in my noob mode. Love it. Okay, well, yeah, I'll just give a quick report on my trip to Australia and to Japan. I have some groundbreaking news. In both markets, doTERRA is rocking the house. So it's really cool to see how much both markets have matured. You know, we've had a pretty close pulse on Australia since we moved there in 2010. They've had their first presidential diamond. We popped some new blues, several new diamonds. It's just a market that's really showing all the signs of maturity and hitting momentum phase. So we're really excited for Australia. Japan, Natalie went there probably in 2009, and I was just blown away by how well both markets have just embraced the culture of doTERRA. They are totally just the heart and soul of doTERRA. I had this, I don't know, stereotype that Asians are they kind of live from their head and not as much from their heart. But I was leading a training the first day in Japan, and we were going through an exercise helping them identify their why, and they were doing a lot of journaling and going through just really getting clear on what their gifts were and their purpose. And half of the room was in tears. I'm looking up, and they're all sniffling and got their handkerchiefs, and I was just blown away how I guess the Emily Wright virus is spreading, or as was it Kirk Rigby who called it testosterone? It's legit. It's truly spreading around the world, and the people there were so gracious, so kind. One really cool report, the president of doTERRA Japan called us up about a year ago and said he loves the Share Success program. Could we adopt that at the corporate level in Japan? And so they went ahead and translated it, and that's what I was there for the launch of the Share Success program to the whole company. So
wow.
That was really cool. We're really honored to be partnering with doTERRA in that way, and the people there just ate it up. They were so grateful. Just the gratitude and the open arms, the way they welcomed me and the system, really, really beautiful. So super grateful for the way doTERRA just works out. Sometimes there's some growing pains as markets like Korea just kind of are trying to figure out the culture, but it still works out in every market. So let's go ahead and talk for just a little while about China. I'm guessing that by now many of you have thought about China and how you can maybe expand in that market. It's one of the few founders clubs that's still open, so it represents a pretty significant opportunity. Surely many of you have been approached by prospects or team members who have interest or at least questions about China. So let's run through some of the real basics. As I said earlier, China is it's special. We have to play by a different set of rules there. So yeah, let's just dive right in, and you'll see kind of some of the reasons why. So we started exposing people to doTERRA several years ago in China, primarily through the Shungs, David and Stephen Shung. And in fact, David Shum is from America, but he moved over to China for the last 2 years, and he's been building a huge team there. So China opened their doors about 8 months ago and officially launched their office and consider themselves an open market. And since then, it's grown to do about 5 million a month in volume. And it's been growing every month. So I'm sharing this screen so I can see.
You're great.
I just had the lovely Natalie join me. So welcome.
Hey, awesome diamonds.
So let's dive into how China is different than the way we do things in America. First of all, doTERRA has applied for the direct selling license, but they have not yet been approved. It can take multiple years to get the direct selling license. So we use the same model that Nu Skin used to launch in China and several other network marketing companies that have all been very successful. So let's go over kind of the way we do things there. In America, we have what's called a preferred customer account. In China, that same type of account is called VIP. In America, we have what's called a wellness advocate account. In China, that's called a VIP business account. So, so basically, a preferred customer is someone who just wants to buy product. They can't have a downline. And in China, that's called a VIP. So strictly customer. If somebody says, hey, I'm interested in doing the business, then they can set up a VIP business account. It's a separate account type, just like in America. And that's the equivalent of a wellness advocate. Now, when it comes to getting people paid, because we don't have the direct selling license, we have to be really careful the way we do that. So you can't automatically start earning commissions just because you have a VIP business account. Basically, you have to build to elite, and then you can apply to become what we call a trainer, a product trainer. And basically, you have to hold so many classes and do business trainings, and then
it basically just justifies doTERRA to be able to pay you
right
for that, right? And then they submit an invoice for whatever their AR balance is, right? Because they're earning commissions, and then doTERRA pays them.
Right. So this is the equivalent of being a contract laborer. This allows us to pay people as employees, basically, but the comp plan still works exactly the same. So until they become elite, they are accruing their earnings in their AR balance. So just like, if you have been doing LRP for a year and you place a 100 LRP order, you get 30 points on your AR balance. Well, that's how they earn commissions until they become a trainer in China. So, so that's the first main difference in China. Any questions so far about VIP business, and becoming a trainer in China? Go ahead and unmute yourself and start talking if you've got any questions so far. Okay, so let's talk about the VIP account. Just like in America, you still enjoy some savings. In China, it's more like 35 to 40% off the retail. You can still do loyalty rewards and earn LRP points. You can earn free product credits. They also have Fast Track over there so that you can start earning points faster. The LRP points are rewarded on your first purchase. And they still have free product a month over there, just like we do. And it's the same rules, 125 points or more. So being a VIP is still great. I would say it's better than a preferred customer account. So to become a VIP customer, basically people have to provide their China ID card. So they email that in, or they send it in through WeChat. So WeChat is kind of the Facebook in China. Facebook's not allowed over there. So WeChat is how a lot of people communicate. They can do phone calls, they can have group messages. So doTERRA itself communicates a lot through WeChat. So VIP customers have a minimum of 100 points at the time of registration to start getting their discount for their purchases. So that's VIP customer. Now, if somebody says, hey, I'm interested in earning commissions, they need to set up a VIP business account. So they get all the same benefits as a VIP customer, but they can also resell the product, just like we can here in America. There are a few more rules, but we'll go over those in a second. And in order to register, they need a custom company name, a business license, and a photo of the storefront, and an address. There's some other account types that people can use, but I'm not going to go into much detail because they're pretty complicated, and there's like minimums of $3,000 a month. This is kind of like the professional accounts we have in America, but I'll just leave it at that because I don't think it'll be applicable to most people. So like I said, in order to get compensated, you need to hit Elite and then apply to become a product trainer. And then you can start getting direct payments from the company. doTERRA, China already has lots of customer support. They've got a China customer support team. They also have a US China support team. They have their website in China is doterra.cn. And so that's for China. As far as US-based Chinese customer service, we have a toll-free number here in America. We have a web address. And then hopefully you're familiar by now with GAC. That's the Global Access Account. And the US company can help people with their global access accounts. They also can help with language. Lots of great support. Here are some of the, any questions so far, just feel free to unmute yourself and pipe up. Here are some of the rules that we need to play by in order to not get in trouble with the Chinese government, and to, in China, you only get one chance. If we tick off the government or any of the agencies over there, then we're going to lose our chance. So we all need to know the rules and follow them to a T.
Hey, Andy, I have a question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Katie.
On the storefront, you said that for them to have their own account, they need to have a picture of a storefront. So do they just all use the same one? Or a team uses the same one? Or do they actually have to go get their own? How does that part work?
In the beginning, they thought that people would need to rent a space and have their own store, but they haven't actually had to. Okay. So I don't know exactly which address they use. They may have actually softened these rules, because most of my team over there, none of them have stores. Well, 95% don't have stores. So I think originally we were planning on having more of a retail focus, and we haven't needed to.
Okay, so it's a little bit flexible.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Good question. So we need to be careful how we use the company name. We can't pretend to be the company, basically, just like here in America. Also, when we hold trainings, we need to keep the meetings fairly small, so 25 people or less. China starts to get worried when we start having trainings, with big groups, because that's the activity of a direct sales company. So just keep it small, and that's very similar to what we do in America. Most of the time we don't have large meetings, so Same thing applies to business trainings. We need to keep those small as well. And then there's a disclaimer that I'll show that should be read at all product trainings. And this is it here. Basically just says that the company is not taking accountability for any claims or any medical statements made by the distributor. Oil is not medicine. And just don't think that we're your doctor and this is going to replace your medicine. So that needs to be read at trainings. As far as online sales, they're not allowing sales through third-party websites. The equivalent of Amazon in China is called Taobao, and there are some people who are breaking the rules right now and doing it, but it's prohibited by the company. So just like in America, you have to go through the channels, and so they're working on regulating that. So yeah, this goes into more detail about Taobao and how we're not endorsing any online sales. So you can still have your replicated website through doTERRA.cn, but nothing outside that. Okay, so here's some little fun facts about building in China. Basically, until we have the direct selling license, you want to be careful who you share the business opportunity with, because again, going out and telling people they can make $1 million by joining your pyramid sounds a lot like a pyramid, direct selling company. So we only talk about business to people that we know and trust. There could be government officials who attend meetings. We don't talk about the business in meetings unless we know every single person there.
Especially over the next few months.
Yeah, we should be getting the direct selling license in the next 3 to 5 months. So we just need to really be following those rules until we get that license. Another little fun fact is it's illegal for any company to store credit cards on file. So what that means is loyalty rewards all get processed manually. So users have to go in and process it online or call in and have it processed manually. So there's no such thing as an automatic loyalty rewards order. So it's just a little more exciting to do the follow-up. Our teams that are doing really well over there actually hold a monthly meeting where all members are invited, and they basically have little incentives for people to have their orders processed either before or after. So that's always fun. We've built a website to support our China team, and we've already translated the following tools into Mandarin. So that's simplified Chinese. So we've translated the Healthy Can Be Simple guide, which is the intro guide. We've done actually 3 different class handouts now, so people have a variety of classes to choose from. We've done a live guide. We have several PowerPoints. Basically all the instructions for enrolling, for setting up their account, and becoming a trainer are all at mydtr.com.cn. And unfortunately, it's all in Chinese, but it's great for your Chinese prospects or builders.
And the graphics are about the same.
Yeah. So we've had our team design that with the same graphics as here in America, so it's not too hard to navigate if you use Google Translate, or obviously if you speak Chinese. So if you're serious about China, we definitely recommend joining the doTERRA WeChat. They have a group, and it's a very active group where all the top leaders are communicating. Obviously doTERRA's website, and then there's a Youku channel. So anything that's Google or Facebook related is banned in China. So that means YouTube is banned. But they have a knockoff over there called Youku, and so there are quite a few videos with Chinese subtitles on Youku. Founders Club, like I said, China is one of the last Founders Club that still has openings. They started out with 50 spots available. So far, 26 have been filled, and 8 more are in their qualification period. So that means they hit platinum at least 1 or 2 times, and they just need to hit the 3rd time. Greg Cook is predicting that all the spots will be filled by the end of June of this year. So if you've thought about Founders Club, now is a really great time to get moving on that. It's going to be a huge market. Some predict that it'll be bigger than the U.S. market. Emily Wright would argue with that, but it's going to be a huge market either way. China will be having their first convention this year. They have to hold it in Hong Kong because they'll be, talking about business and doing recognition. And so mark your calendars, July 28th through 30 in Hong Kong, if you'd like to attend the China convention. We share the proposal of okay.
We have 2 legs in.
Natalie and I have an idea for.
Well, I would say, we have 2 legs in China. So we've established 2 legs in China. China's going to be a bigger market than even the U.S. in some projections. Corey Lindley would say that. Greg Cook would say that. So we all know what a big opportunity the U.S. Founders Spot was when it was open here in the U.S. And so the China Founders Spots that are available are key. And we are working to help our leaders over there, achieve China Founders Spots. So if we go back to that, there's still a gap there. So if any of now's the time, if you have contacts in this realm. And the other thing we have talked to some of our leaders on was to just have, if there's someone else under your legs that if you could even share a founder spot. Like, for example, some of you might think, oh my goodness, how could I get 3 legs in China? Well, one thought that came up to us was, what if Roxanne Bybee had 3 of her leaders that had contacts in China, and those 3 people got to founders, and they shared the enrollership with Roxanne, and then she could share the founders check, So it's just an option. What we would say is explore those China contacts now, get on the build quickly with really capable people if you're going for China founders, if that feels in alignment. If not, just build, right? Just start exploring those contacts and start going these China directions.
And we actually have 2 full-time employees in Shanghai who are there to support us, to support you. So if you need them to send samples or to do a training or to meet with your prospects, they can travel.
We really trust them. They're not going to sign them up on their team or you never hear about them again or whatever. They're good people that we've worked with that way already, several times.
So 2 great resources there with those employees.
Hey, Andy or Natalie, would those 2 employees, do they ever travel to the Beijing area?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll be in touch with some contact info.
Yeah,
Awesome.
We can post. How can we do that to keep it?
Their information.
Yeah, we can post that on the Diamond Mastermind page, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah. Way to go, Jason. right? Basically,
They're China time to good use.
Love it.
Yeah, I have a visa for 9 more years, so I just will make use of it.
nice.
Sounds great. Any other questions on China before we change topics?
Okay, one quick one. I'm assuming your employees have good English.
Yeah, they're both excellent. One is named Celia. She's from Taiwan. Her English is impeccable. The other one, he does most of the translating. And so his name's Jonathan. His English is also very good.
Oh, nice.
So you don't have to use Google Translate to communicate with them, basically, right? You could talk.
That would be nice.
Yeah. They're great. They understand the culture, though, and they are one of the people there, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's the other real different item. Okay, so doTERRA's always probably, until they get the direct selling license, they're probably going to have all their big meetings in Hong Kong because they're talking about the business and there's more than 25 people and breaking all those rules. Okay.
That's right.
And so it's pretty cheap for people to fly from there to Hong Kong, right?
Right. Like, if they live near Shenzhen area, they can just drive across to Hong Kong. It's literally like a 2-hour drive, and they just drive through the border. But otherwise, it's just better to fly. China's pretty big.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
But it's cheap. It's like going to LA. I mean, it's like going to Las Vegas, basically.
Okay. Perfect. Wow, you guys I'm sure everyone wants to echo the same thing, but holy cow, what a help having this whole presentation and then all the work that you guys have done, setting up the employees, and that's huge. So thank you.
Well,
Sure.
thanks, Rox. We get bored sometime. US, and so we have to think of things to do. Like, we love the Chinese people. It's fun to see this development. Melissa?
Yes, thank you. I actually have a builder who lives here in the US. She's Chinese and she's an acupuncturist, but she's gone over to China like 2 or 3 times because she has a lot of family and connections there. And so she's elite here in the US and she has a little bit of activity there, but she's kind of expressed a bit of frustration because of some of the, not the loyalty rewards on auto ship and stuff like that. So Is this contact that you have, is it open to people that aren't diamond who are building out there, or is it specifically just to your diamonds?
Oh, yeah. It's available to our team.
Okay.
So whether she's just starting out or whatever, I think sometimes people like that, right? I think Celia has worked with enough people that she knows some great workarounds for even that, US thinking. So that she could find some ways around it and help her get with something that's working.
Yeah, even just for this particular builder to talk to somebody else who's in China, I think would help because she has such a vision there. And I hate to be the one who I don't have all the answers for this market in particular. I've done a lot of research with her, but thank you for offering that contact. I'll certainly be getting them in touch as soon as you post the information.
Awesome.
Sounds great. Other China questions? Awesome.
Sweet. Let's roll.
Okay. Do you want to go? Can you see our video right now, by the way? Thumbs up if you can see us.
Meaning, can we see your
Can you
picture?
see us?
Yeah.
Or
We can see you too.
Okay.
And I can still see the slide that says China Founders Club. That's what we can see right now.
oh, cool.
It looks like Katie and Kyle are trying to unmute and they're having a hard time.
Oh,
Maybe they have a question.
Okay. Okay, Kyle, did you have a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good. I couldn't figure out. I'm on my phone right now.
Mute.
But anyways, when we finally do get that license in China, the direct marketing license, is that going to change, or is that going to be how we do business just like here in the US once we are able to get that in place? Or going to be able to talk about the business and do the classes and that kind of stuff? Or will there still be different hurdles over there as compared to here?
So in China, direct selling actually even has a worse reputation than it does in America.
Okay.
Hard to imagine, but the Chinese government actually has a law that if you, so their name for someone who does direct selling is like rat. And if you do like direct selling, you have to wear a sign that says basically I'm a rat. So doing business that way is actually not our first choice. So very little is going to change. You will be able to talk more about the business opportunity.
But because it basically just protects us from the big fines. Like Nu Skin not long ago got fined billions of dollars because they broke, their direct selling agreement with the country. But once doTERRA has that in place, then it gives us a lot more leeway to talk about the business and everything like that, right?
Okay, so it really won't change how we as wellness advocates do business, but it gives us more leeway as far as the fines that doTERRA can incur.
Right.
Okay.
I think it might be a little bit easier to get paid at that point.
I think so.
Okay.
Must be
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah,
Great
great
question.
Cool. Any other China questions? Awesome. Okay. Well, we're super excited to talk about Diamond Mastermind for 2017.
And we should tell you before we talk about this, well, it's just been such a highlight for a few years now, right?
Yeah.
We've had pretty amazing masterminds for the last 3 years. We've been doing it for 4 years. The first year was really small, but we've just grown and grown. And truthfully, we're just going to share a little inkling today because we want to make sure that everyone's in. And we've had a chance to talk to some people, but not everyone of our key leaders. And so we're gonna just get the ideas out to you initially here, so we can get these things on the calendar and be looking forward to it and have our leaders looking to it as well.
So the plan for now is, we always want to support doTERRA and what they're doing. We never want to create counterculture or any kind of breakaway from anything they're doing. So we have found massive value in attending the incentive trip ourselves and in getting as many of our people as possible to the incentive trip. So what we want to do is make sure that whatever we're doing is supporting doTERRA's incentive trip. We had some people who chose to come to ours instead of doTERRA's incentive trip. And that's the last thing we want to have happen. So what we want to do is have our Diamond Mastermind just be an add-on day to doTERRA's incentive trip. So it'll be at the same location. You'll just stay one extra day, and we'll have some activities just for our diamonds. So we'll have a catamaran excursion. We'll do a fun dinner. We'll do some masterminding.
How many of you just loved that 5-year future you dinner? Wasn't that so fun? Partay, right?
That was a blast.
That continues to keep blowing my mind. I'm so grateful for those exercises and dreaming. So we would love to blow some more minds that way.
We had some people who maybe didn't catch the whole idea, and they think we're actually making $1 million a month now. So, so that's always fun.
Like, you really should be doing a lot more than you are.
We said, as if, declare it as if. So, anyways, the the qualification period will be probably February 1st to November 31st. So it's already begun. We're thinking it'll probably be, just like doTERRA's magazine requirements, that 3 months to qualify. We want to make sure that these are solid diamonds. So it would be during that period. So it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It would be during this qualification period. And we are, what else do we want to say? It's going to be.
I just did that. It's going to be amazing. We're not going to have to be gone that long, but we're going to have power experiences. Now we've done it enough that we know what experiences are the most powerful. So they're that catamaran exclusive private excursion that we get to go on together and have that amazing experience. It's the dinner, right? It's doTERRA's event. We'll be doing, how many of you loved the breakouts that we did that morning? I know I love those. It was amazing. Sarah Jansen, one of our platinums was there. That was just so changed by what you shared that day, right? And Katie, your input on all of that, like rocking the back office. I had so many people walking away going, wow, I had no idea, totally empowered. So lots of great pieces that way. Our other vision on that, to be able to do the content as well, but still get to party, right, is to, so for example, the structure and the plan that we're looking at right now is doTERRA's goes from Monday to Friday morning, people checking out Friday morning. And we're looking at just a checkout of Saturday. So people just staying one more day, but we'll be doing circles on the beach.
All throughout the week.
Yeah, like a few nights there, right? How many of you got to participate? This is where you raise your hand. How many of you got to participate in the circles that they did around the pools? That was awesome. Did you get to see that? We'd like to take that up a level so it supports our teams that are there, and then on that extra night that we're there as diamonds, that we get to have those circles there on the beach and time to rotate through some of the top hot topics. So we can glean from each other and really make that mastermind happen. But then let the rest of the masterminding just be this organic thing that happens throughout the week. So that's what we know so far on the Diamond Mastermind. So
we're still discussing how much coverage we might give to people as far as their costs, right?
Right. So we are just we're getting projections back from Alyssa. We're really trying to work closely with doTERRA so we can be working hand in hand there. Then we'll know a little bit better about costs and how to break that down, because we want this to be duplicatable, right? It's not duplicatable if our upline, us, and our frontline carry the load. So we're looking for a way to make it work so that we can carry a load and we can share a load with the upline, so they're vested in it, And so we'll bring forward next month. We should have that all down so we can know a little bit more about that. But we wanted you to know about the qualification periods and the timeline that we're looking at right now. So some of the questions on the chat are, is it 3 times just like the magazine? That's what we've talked about, that we could get a little bit more clear with these qualifications. So that would mean, in the past, we've let people qualify in December and have that be one of their months, So if you want it to be a little bit different, you're like, hey, I'm good with 3 months, but let's include December in there. and we just have people commit beforehand, we can look at any of that. Right now, we're just shaping it, and we want to make it great as we come together. So what are your insights? What do you love? What would you like to see?
Looks like Ben, you got a question? Or we can hear you. Ben, did you have a comment? It shows that you're raising your hand, so I thought you wanted to say something. Sorry.
You're all good.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Go, Ron.
Yes, I was just curious if for someone who goes diamond like the very first time, who's trying to qualify, maybe you know how people like shooting for December to qualify for diamond, and that's what people, a lot of people do. I mean, our first time in diamond was December as well, because of the great volume. And so if people know about this and they're working really hard, it might be really hard for them to qualify in October, November, and December to be able to qualify. So that's why I'm wondering, maybe you could have an exception of first-time qualifications, have an exception or something. I don't know.
That's a great idea. That's a good one to consider. We'll take that to the team. What else? What other ideas?
While they're sitting at their desk doing something else or whatever. So audio, often has a really big impact. The ability to take something offline.
So I'm just curious. Hang on, never mind.
Cool. So we'll keep you posted when we have more details.
This is a great opportunity to leverage for growth in your team. I love to see, we've got people reaching in June and July, right, to hit for convention. So we want this to be able to serve and help you give those leaders something to reach for in the other half of the year, right? So use this to leverage and keep the growth and momentum going at those higher ranks. This is a great opportunity to connect and help those people stick as leaders. We've seen so much advancement from those that were able to go to the Diamond Mastermind. So,
yep. So just to restate, it is one extra day tacked on to the end of the doTERRA's incentive trip. So doTERRA's incentive trip is the 16th through the 20th. We'll be doing activities all day on the 20th instead of leaving the resort. So people would be traveling out on the 21st. Mm-hmm. And if they want to do like a team breakfast or something on the 21st, that's great. But we need to keep that.
We found that it's just hard to do anything on that day that everybody's leaving. So we want the masterminding to continue. You could leave late on the 21st and have that whole day masterminding with people there. But to have something all together hasn't worked very well in the past. Danielle, I love what you're saying about the diamond chart. Like the rank snapshot or the rank planner. Is that what you're talking about? Sweet. So we can post a link to that in the Diamond Mastermind. So that's really easy. It's in the Share Success library, but we'll just post a new one in there. And honestly, if you ever want those diamond charts, maybe we can have a time of year that we just get a lot of those out to people.
The good thing about that is just it's a new goal for me, and I know for a lot of people. It's not about just us reaching our goal or a diamond or presidential or whatever. It's how many diamonds can we put in the table, and that for me is huge. The more people that we get there, it's the more people that are succeeding in our teams. So I appreciate that, Nat and Andy and everybody.
Awesome. And we encourage you. I mean, I think that's been one of the most useful things that we've done. I'm so grateful that Andy has the gifts that he has and helped bring that into a visual form so it could help people visualize it and go to the next level. But so you could take the file that we post up there, take it down to Kinko's, do those 11 by 17 big prints of it, or 12 by 18, whatever, and it will be awesome. What a great tool to take to a monthly training or wherever it is that you're connecting with those, golds, giving them a vision for going to the next level.
Next slide.
Yep. So here is the mystery topic of the day. We've talked about this crazy idea of fly-ins before. And somehow being at leadership, the idea came to my mind a couple times. It was like, and some of the contacts that we're meeting now, it's just that they're interested in the business. doTERRA is holding its own in the business. And I just feel like it's finally time for this idea of fly-ins to run. And so we will be doing our first fly-in in April. And we don't know if we'll just do one a year, because then you've got convention later on, right? So you could bring someone to convention and help them experience doTERRA. But we thought, hey, let's give this an experience. April 28th through 30th of this year, we're renting a cabin at Sundance. We'll have a limited number of spots. And basically what we want to have happen in that cabin and in this setting is just like, you are powerhouse leaders. You can attract amazing powerhouse leaders. Let's say it's time for you to go Blue Diamond or presidential, and you have someone that you just like, boy, if they could just catch a vision for doTERRA, and they're open to it, they just don't have the vision yet, right? This is the perfect person to get to a fly-in. So it would be approaching them, inviting them, hey, I want to give you an all-expense weekend in Utah up at Sundance. We're going to take care of you. We're going to have some, depending on the weather, maybe there will still be snow there, so we'll go snowmobiling. But I think it will be amazing. I think we'll go mountain biking down Sundance Mountain. I think we'll ride the lift. I think we'll take them to lunch. We'll take them to dinner. We'll have catering. We'll take them to the tour of campus where they get to meet the owners and have some private time like there. And then what we'll do in the cabin is set a strategy for their business, right? So that they leave with a business plan for their doTERRA experience. So it's exposure to doTERRA so that they really feel it and are sold and buy in all the way, and then giving them a plan to run with.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm thinking of myself thinking, oh, that sounds great. Okay, so I'm assuming that we would be accompanying them, right? So that it's not like we're like sending you our contacts, have fun, enjoy, but then that takes up another spot for us to come along. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out logistics. So
I think that could be taken on a case by case. Like, I think it's ideal if you're there, right, getting synced with your builder. And there are nearby, so we're looking at options where we could pick up a couple of cabins and maybe we let them sleep there and you guys are driving, back and forth, or we get Aspen Lodge that's down the street and we can house a lot more people and we just meet in the cabin during the day. So it will kind of depend on how the numbers start to look, right? But we want to put this out there because this is about 45 days away. Want to have you have some time to start working on those contacts, start prepping the experience.
Would we be helping pay, right? Like, I'm assuming we're not just saying.
Well, so, yes. So there's the deal. Like, We'll take care of the arrangements, and we're not going to be crazy. You know, we're smart. We're deal shoppers, even though we make, how much do we make a month? $1 million, right? And so we're going to be smart, and we'll have a price that person will, you know, that each individual will cost, right? And then let's say you want to go to your 3 upline, right? So Roxanne, James and Rox would pay some, they might ask us to pay some. And we might ask our upline. So if Daniela brings someone, Daniela's going to say, hey, let's go to our cute couple, and then Jessica, and then Stacey Paulson, right? You might ask for support from 2 to 3, kind of like a Diamond Club piece. So we don't have the exact numbers yet, but we want to put it out there right now so you can start prepping for it. And as soon as we have the numbers, we'll post it in that Diamond Facebook group, okay? And we'll also put an Eventbrite link so you can start responding to that.
Okay, so since you guys will be making the arrangements on the, you know, where they're staying and any other activities and whatever that way, I'm assuming that we as leaders need to be just handling the flights, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we want to get it so it's set up by a transportation company, you know. So we're paying $50 to have somebody shuttled there to Salt Lake, you know, or to Sundance, to the cabin, right? They're handling all the transportation so that you can be up there, and we'll be all set up, you know, and they're feeling like they've got this cush ride, you know.
Okay, so arrival is like, let's talk maybe arrival times for the 28th or whatever, so that as we're looking at flights, or maybe if people are wanting to drive or something like that, right, so we know what time you want us to be in there.
That's a good question. I haven't broken down the whole piece yet for a whole layout. Is there anybody on this call that's interested in bringing some love to this and putting together? We've got templates from New Skin of what they've done with a few of the builders that I'm working with right now are wanting something more like this. So if you're feeling some love on that, love to have you raise your hand or type it in the chat, and then we'll connect.
Katie, you're awesome. So basically, we're just looking, you know, to help maybe do some projections on cost. You know, here's the cost of the cabin, meals, and then maybe help with an Eventbrite page.
Well, and even just like, oh, hey, let's do this. I think this would be really fun, whatever. Even brainstorming for it, right?
So
cool.
People are asking what rank is required.
So this is what we were thinking. We would open it up to our diamonds first.
So the goal here is for you to bring in your, you know, big dog prospects and help them catch the vision. So just for example, we have one of our builders who flew someone down from Oregon this last weekend. We took them to corporate. They did the tour. They met Dave Sterling. We bought them a couples massage at the doTERRA spa.
Right.
And they left that weekend completely bought in. They've already reached out to several of their friends. They've got some big people ready to sign up. So this is a prospecting tool. So it's not a rank requirement for the people you're bringing. We're offering this to our diamonds who want to help bring in your big, you know, your chicken list, right? These are the people that are your big prospects. Does that make sense?
With some of the questions that I'm seeing, it makes me think, are you feeling like, well, I've got somebody that's barely, you know, they've got that potential, but they don't see or understand doTERRA, so it might be more useful for me to send this leg that, hey, she can be platinum. I can see it, I can smell it, I can taste it, but she's elite right now and she needs an exposure to doTERRA. Is that what would that be useful for you? Give me a little chat response. Because for us, it's like we have people that are like, it's new people, it's outside people that haven't already been a part of doTERRA, that haven't been exposed to these things. So we could take that on a case by case. If you've got somebody that needs to catch a vision and they're really key for you and they have a lot of potential, we could look at that. So we'll get the Eventbrite up in the next couple days. We're getting a little bit of feedback on those dates. Looks like some people are in Nepal, some people are at Eric Warre. So we haven't booked the dates yet. Let me grab that calendar.
Any other thoughts, questions, feedback?
Hey, Natalie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you could hear me. This is Bridget. I kept getting kicked off of the video portion, so I might have missed it, or it might be on the screen. Did y'all mention a date for this, or a roundabout time?
We talked about April 28th to 30th, but
Okay.
quite a few people have conflicts with that, the Nepal trip and
Okay.
the event. So we're looking at some other options right now.
We could.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure.
We could do it May 27th and 26th through 28th. It's just that that's when most people get out of school. So we're trying to, yeah. Oh, that is Memorial Day weekend. So we were trying to leverage and do stuff before people get out of school.
Could do April 21st to 23rd. If we moved it back a week, is that better for people? April 21st to 23rd?
Give us a little chat back.
I kind of
That
like
works great for me.
I like the idea of having a little more time, but I'm a little partial. It's my husband's birthday.
Sure.
The other thing we could do is go to early May. Like,
5th through 7th?
yeah, you'll be in Nepal.
Yeah.
But
What about 5th through 7th? I guess Rox would be in Nepal too. So we talked about doing this at least once a year. We talked about maybe twice. You know, we feel like this creates massive value. So if we get someone who can help, you know, coordinate this and help plan, then I think we could do it up to 2 or 3 times a year. It's just,
and we can put it together.
Right.
We've got staff that can support in putting it together. We just want it to be what we all want it to be, right? So if you want, if you're in events and you want input like on that, raise your hand in this chat and we'll kind of capture it and come back to you.
One thought about how to get a date. I mean, honestly, like there's no way to get
it. As we even explore this, I'm like, I think we have to go back to the April 28th already.
Yeah, if you, and then there's no big deal, right? Like, I mean, if the people who get to go, there's so many diamonds that can access it. I think that there's no way we're going to fit everybody anyway, right? So the self-selection happens that people can't make it, right? So it's fine. But I think it's brilliant to leave it. You know, you've said that's going to work, and if that is going to work, but there is, if you wanted to, you could also just get on the either the Diamond Facebook page or whichever ones. I guess we're making it available for Diamond, so we could put it out there and do a little poll on the dates. But you may actually not want everyone to be able to go, right? Because then it's just too huge and it's out of control and it's too many cars and it's, you know, a bit, you know, the more people we have, the harder it's going to be to get the buses down to Sundance and the property, and you know what I mean?
Well, and what we could do if we get, I love this because you're giving me some ideas, Rox. We could add another weekend, right? That could be like, you know, I think most of us are going to have kids free after May anyway, right? So if we keep this April one as is, and then we add another one if we have more demand, you know? Soon as this one fills up, we add another one. It's something that I think we can execute that way. So maybe we put in a date in May that we can add in if that need be.
I think that's brilliant, because the other cool thing about that happens is that as we're promoting this to these big players, right, they have busy schedules too, right, obviously, and it helps them to see this kind of urgency, right? It's like, well, the first one's filled, but there's a spot, and we have this long, and then it's going to be filled, you know, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah. So we'll get the venue confirmed today or tomorrow and post up basically what dates we have and what capacity we have with an Eventbrite link. And then we can kind of see where we can go from there as we see the fruits of it. But that gives you just a little bit of time to start thinking about who to approach, how to approach them, and then we'll get you the details so you can have a solid invitation and something to work towards.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is there a limit? How many are you thinking, like, per diamond, one person you could bring?
I was thinking one person. So,
but like if a diamond's coming out,
right?
Like I think if you've got a couple of big players that you want to bring, you know, I think a couple of fun, make it worth your time.
So this is where we need to, we could fill up a larger housing space that's close to that, and then come down to learn together. So, 1 to 2. We could start out with 1 to 2.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Great, Elsa.
So I see that Jamie and John raised their hand. Does that mean it looks like, Jamie, you're saying you're willing to help be a part of the group. I've unmuted both of you if you wanted to say something too.
Yes. Awesome. Let's see.
So the one question that Jamie asked, are we going with non-enrolled prospects or enrolled team members? I think we're saying
typically it's non-enrolled.
Yeah.
Right? If you have someone that you got them to enroll, but they're really not, quote unquote, enrolled in doTERRA, they're not bought in, then that would be an exception. But again, we realize, like, we're talking, you're up in the upper echelons of doTERRA. We have to do what works, and we have to work with people. So this is what it would be targeted to, non-enrolled, but that would be the exception.
Any more questions? Awesome. Thank you for all the volunteers.
I know.
So awesome.
Encouraging. Makes us feel like crazy ideas aren't so crazy, right? We love you all. We're so grateful for the awesome energy that's going on in your world and in the world because of what you're doing. We could not be more grateful for an amazing lineup of leaders. It's so amazing as we meet brand new people. Did you tell them our experience yet?
Which one?
Of sometimes we forget how much doTERRA has shaped us, right? The other morning, I was meeting with a new builder, and I was like, oh boy, or new prospect, they're ready to sign up, new builder, and I'm like, boy, where are they going to go? Where will they grow best? Sometimes that question. you're really thinking, oh, is this person going to be able to change? Will they be able to grow? Is this going to work out for them? And actually, I totally can see it for this person, but it's a little painful right now, right? And the impression I had as I was thinking, where should this person go, was, oh, they should go with you because you were just as bad as they are. and they're just like you. And they were so annoying me. At the time, I was like, oh, this is so painful. So I'm so grateful for the process. And I'm so grateful that there are tons more people that can be touched and loved and changed and shaped, just like we've been in this awesome process of doTERRA creation. I'm so glad you're in it and being shaped today. So let's go rock the world and find some more people to shape.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll catch you next month.
Have an awesome one.
Thank you.
We love you.
See you guys.
Loving the Zoom.